Assalamu alaikum, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for Simcha ben Gittel and for Gila Shoshana bas Gittel. We're going to be discussing Yana Gir Toshav b'siyata d'shmaya, and this is based on a shir given by Gom Rav Tzal Zolti Zatzal. Parashas Mishpatim, Parakhov Gimel, Pasuk Lamed Gimel. It says, Lo yeshu ba'artzecha pen yachti otzcha li. They're not allowed to sit in your land, dwell in your land, lest they cause you to sin to me. Because you're going to serve their gods. Who are we talking about? It's like Rashi. Gid Mem Heomer Aleph. We're talking about the Shiva Umos, the 7 nations, and so says the Smag, the Sefer Mitzvah Gadol, and Lo say Mem Tes. However, the Rambam in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Perek Yud Halacha Vav, says that Bisman Sheyad Yisrael Takif Aleim Asur Lanu Laniach Akum Beinenu. Any guy, if Jews are in power in Eretz Yisrael, we have the capacity. No idolaters are allowed to live here. Not only the 7 nations. V'afilu Yoshev Yeshiva Sarah, even temporarily, even if he's passing through for business purposes, he's not allowed to, unless he's makabel upon himself the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nei Noach, as it says, Lo Yeshiva Ba'artzecha Afilu Lefi Shah. Even temporarily, they're not allowed to dwell in the land. Zok the Ravid, Zos Lo Matzanu V'lo Shamanu. We never found such a thing. We never heard such a thing. And the pasuk he brings, the pasuk the Rambam cites, says the Ravid, is talking about the Sheva Umos. The 7 Canaanite nations are not all idolaters. And also, he takes issue with the fact that the Rambam says they're not even allowed to pass through. It's not true. Even if the Rambam is right that it's talking about all goyim, but the pasuk says Lo Yeshu, which means they dwell. Yeshiva below Havara. So how can the Rambam say they're not allowed to pass through? The answer is only that they shouldn't dwell there. The Rambam also writes there that if they are Makabel, Sheva Mitzvahs, he's a Ger Toshav. And we only have Gerei Toshav if there's Yovel, if we have the Jubilee year. Avol Shalob Bizman HaYovel, there's no Ger Toshav, only a Ger Tzedek. And the Ravid writes, Eini Mashva Lo B'Yeshiva Sa'aretz. I don't agree with him about dwelling in the land. Because if Mishnah explains the Ravid, that even though we're not Makabel Ger Toshav, Bizman She'ena Yovel Noeg, if he's Makabel the Sheva Mitzvahs, then why should they stop him from living in Eretz Yisrael? The whole chash is that they're going to cause us to sin. But if he's Makabel Sheva Mitzvahs, he's not going to cause us to sin. So what's the Rambam going to answer to that time of the Ravid? That he doesn't have to be an official formal Ger Toshav in order to be allowed to live in Eretz Yisrael, as long as he's keeping the Sheva Mitzvahs. Sakta Kesef Mishnah. The Rambam would agree, Eino Chinami. If Me'atzmo is Makabel Sheva Mitzvahs, we let him live in Eretz Yisrael. All the Rambam was saying is that Ein Beis Din Makabel also. He's not going to be an official formal Ger Toshav. If there's no Yovel, but we allow him to live in Eretz Yisrael, the Rambam is going to agree in principle with the Ravid. However, as the Achronim point out, the Kesef Mishnah is very shver. The Rambam in the 14th paragraph of Surah Biyah, Allah Zayin writes, Mefurish, that who's a Ger Toshav? Somebody who's Makabel, not to be Obed Avodah Zarah, to keep the other Sheva Mitzvahs B'nei Noach. If he does, he's a Chassidei Umas Ha'olam, and he's called a Ger Toshav, because we're allowed to let him live among us in Eretz Yisrael. And we're only makabel this Ger Toshav Bizman Sheyovel Noeg. Not Bizman Hazeh. It's Mefurish in the Rambam that the Yeshiva Sa'aretz is Talui in him being an actor and a formal Ger Toshav. And if there's no Yovel, there's no Ger Toshav. No Ger Toshav, he's not allowed to live in Eretz Yisrael. So how can the Kesef Mishnah say that the Rambam agrees with the Ravid that even Bizman She'ena Yovel Noeg, he accepts the Sheva Mitzvah, he's allowed in Eretz Yisrael? It's not true. The Rambam says that if he's not a Ger Toshav, he's not allowed to live in Eretz Yisrael, even if he's Makabel the Sheva Mitzvahs. So we have a Machlokas Ravid Rambam about a Ger Toshav living in Eretz Yisrael. Bizman She'ena Yovel Noeg. If he can't be a proper Ger Toshav, he just Makabel Sheva Mitzvah B'nei Noach. There's no Yovel, so he's not an official Ger Toshav. The Ravid holds he's allowed to live here, and the Rambam holds he's not allowed to live here. The Ravid holds it's only the Sheva Umos. The Rambam holds it's all Akum. The Ravid writes in Perek Yudal Mechsir Bi Halacha Ches that this Ger Toshav, we're not allowed to let him sit b'socha ir. Because it says Imcha Yeshev, the Ger Toshav allowed to dwell with you, but not be your atzma, not in the actual city. And it's a mitzvah la'achyosa, b'cher achicha imach. It's a mitzvah to sustain him. And these dinim are only noeg b'zman sheyovel noeg, which brings out a kula and a chumrah. That b'zman sheyovel noeg, he can sit be'ir atzma. He can dwell in the actual city. If there's yovel, he's a proper ger toshav. He can't dwell in the city. But if there's no yovel, then he can even dwell in the city because the only person denied from dwelling in the city is the ger toshav, but he's not a ger toshav proper, formally speaking. So therefore, if there's no yovel, he can dwell with you in the city. That's a kula. The chumrah. And that's because when there's no yovel, there's no kedushas haaretz, like there was before. It doesn't have the same level of kedusha. Mele can dwell with you even in the city. And what's the that's lahakal alav. What's the chumrah? The chumrah is ein mitzuvin lachyosa. There's no tzivui to be mechaya him, to sustain him, because he's not a proper ger toshav. Where does the Rambam stand on this? The Rambam writes in Perek Zayin, Milchos Beis Abchira, Halacha Yadalig, that Yerushalayim is Mekudeshes Mishar HaRatzis. Yerushalayim is holier than the other cities that are Mukafos Choma, that have a wall, etc. Veilu Dvarim Shenemar B'Yerushalayim, etc. Veinosnim B'Socha Makom L'Ger Toshav. No ger toshav in Yerushalayim. Makor Dvar writes the case of Mishnah, the Tosefta, the Perek Vav, the Hilchos Negaim. So it's mefurish that only in Yerushalayim ein moshivim ger toshav. Aval b'shar orei Yisrael, even if they're mukafos choma, you are moshiv a ger toshav. Now the Ravid doesn't comment on the Rambam that only in Yerushalayim ein moshivim b'silcha ger toshav. Mashma shebishar arei Yisrael, you are moshiv b'silcha ger toshav. But this very same Ravid in the 14th parak of Hilchos Asurei Bia Halacha Ches brings that he's not allowed to dwell in the city. Imcha yeshev v'lo b'ir atzma. Why doesn't the Ravid argue? The Ravid does differ with the Rambam. Why doesn't, when the Rambam says only Yerushalayim, we should say no, anywhere in the city? So it would appear that the Ravid holds that he says in the 14th paragraph of Surah Biyah that we mentioned, that ein moshivin ger toshav, be'ir atzma, that a ger toshav is now allowed to dwell in the actual city. That's only b'zman she'obel noeg. Abel b'zman she'ein obel noeg, he's allowed to sit even in the city. She'ein kedushas haaretz aleh sha'isa, doesn't have the same kedushas haaretz Yisrael. So according to that, we can say that it says in the Tosefta Negaim that Yerushalayim is mukudeshes mishar ha'yaros ha'mukafos choma. It's holier than the other cities, and therefore ger toshav is now allowed to dwell there. The Ravid will explain that's talking about bizman she'ein hayovel noeg shemoshivim ger toshav bi'ir atzma. You're allowed to put a ger toshav in the actual city, but the Yerushalayim is so holy that there's no place for a ger toshav. Even bizman she'ein hayovel noeg. So that would be the way the Ravid could explain the Tosefta Negaim. When the Tosefta Negaim says Dafka Yerushalayim, it's talking about Bizman she'eina yovel noeg. But Bizman she'eina yovel noeg, if he accepts upon himself the mitzvah, the Sheva mitzvahs, you're allowed to put him in the other cities. Just not in Yerushalayim. And you're going to say that Bizman she'ein novel noeg, it's not shaykh to say that Yerushalayim is holier than the other ayaros and mukafas choma, because Bizman she'ein novel noeg, there isn't b'chlal kedushas ari choma, like it says in Tos and Brachas Hamid Beis Dibur Maschil Ha, that Shiluach Machanos was only noeg Bizman Shayovel noeg. It's sending the impure person out of the city is only Bizman Shayovel noeg. There's a din of Batei Ari Choma. But in the Chedushei HaRashba it says that only Dine Batei Ari Choma are totally Biyovel. But Shiluach Machanos, the Kedushas Ari Choma, are noeg, even if there's no Yovel. The special dinam of selling Batei Ari Choma, that's totally Biyovel. But Shiluach sending out of the camp, the Kedushas Ari Choma, that's even if there's no Yovel. So we can say that it says that Yerushalayim is Mekudeshes, Mishara Yoris HaMukafas Choma, Bizman she'ein Moshivim B'socha Ger Toshav, that you're not allowed to allow a Ger Toshav inside. That's Taka talking about Bizman she'ein Yovel Noeg. Because we just proved, according to the Rashba, that even Bizman she'ein Yovel Noeg, there's still Kedusha to Arim HaMukafas Choma. So Yerushalayim, which is Mukaf Choma, is going to have more Kedusha than the other Arim HaMukafas Choma. So in all Arei Yisrael, you are Moshe v'Ger Toshav afilu b'Yeratzma. But Yerushalayim, Mekudeshesi, she'ein Moshivim b'Socha Ger Toshav Le'olam. So that's going to be the sheet of the Ravid. But you're never allowed to have a Ger Toshav in Yerushalayim itself. And if there's Yovel is not Noeg, then you allow Gerei Toshav in the other cities, because the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael went down. But Yerushalayim never is allowed to have a Ger Toshav. However, B'das HaRambam would appear that he holds, like Tosas and Brachas, that the whole din of Kedusha Sarei Chom is totally B'yovel. And that it says in the Tosefta that Yerushalayim is Mekudeshes, Mishara Yoris HaMukafas Choma, She'ein Moshivim B'socha Ger Toshav, that Yerushalayim is holier than the other world cities, you're not allowed to allow a Ger Toshav to dwell there. That's Bizman Shayovel Noeg. So Bizman Shayovel Noeg, you're not allowed to have a Ger Toshav according to the Rambam in Yerushalayim. But in other cities, you are. But Bizman she'ein Yovel Noeg, there's no Kedushas Ari Choma. Bizman she'ein Yovel Noeg, there's no Kedushas Ari Choma. And this would prove that the Rambam holds that Gam Bizman she'yovel Noeg, Moshivin Ger Toshav, afilu b'Yeratzma, that they're allowed to dwell, according to the Rambam, in the walled cities. Even Bizman she'yovel Noeg. We have a machlokas between the Rambam and the Ravid on a number of points. We saw the machlokas about, is it only the Shiva Umos, like the Ravid, or all Akum were now allowed to live in Eretz Yisrael? We saw the machlokas about just passing through. Rambam says not even to pass through. We saw that the Ravid says that if they keep the Sheva Mitzvahs, they can live in Eretz Yisrael, even as man she'ein Yovel Noeg. Rambam holds not like that. We saw that the Rabbit holds that the Bisman Yovel Noeg, they're not allowed in the walled cities. The Bisman Yovel Noeg, the Ger Toshav are not allowed to sit in the cities, whereas and the Tosefta that distinguishes between Yerushalayim and other walled cities, that's talking about Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg. And the Rambam holds that the Tosefta that distinguishes between Yerushalayim and other walled cities is talking about Bisman She'yovel Noeg. So that would mean that Bisman She'yovel Noeg, they're not allowed to dwell in Yerushalayim, never allowed to dwell in Yerushalayim. But according to the Rambam is talking about Bisman She'yovel Noeg. So that it says in the Tosefta, Yerushalayim is Mekudesh B'Shar Yeres and Mekofes Choma, that's Bisman She'yovel Noeg. But Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, there's no Kedusha Sarei Choma. But anyway, Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, there's no Ger Toshav. And if there's no, according to the Rambam, they're not allowed to live here anyway. But so the Rambam says that Bisman She'yovel Noeg, there you have a distinction between Yerushalayim and other cities. And the Rabbit holds no. The Rabbit holds Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, you have this distinction. Because he holds like the Rashba, that Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, there's still Kedusha to the walled cities. But Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, the Rabbit holds that you have a distinction that in Yerushalayim they're not allowed to dwell, and in other cities, Bisman She'ena Yovel Noeg, they are allowed to dwell. But if it's Bisman She'yovel Noeg, according to the Ravid, they're not allowed to dwell in any of the cities. So that sums up what we learned. And we have a lot more to learn. B'siyata d'shmaya, the union of Ger Toshav is very broad. And we should be zochet to get to it. L'mod u'lam l'ishma v'las l'kaim is called every sound to us to be a hava. Amen v'amen. Shalom shalom. Sweetest and most beloved.